Welcome to our video, where we'll dive into the intriguing world of reverse psychology and how it can transform feelings of rejection into genuine desire. Have you ever faced rejection and felt like it was the end? What if I told you that there's a way to flip that script? In this video, we'll explore the ideas of renowned psychologist Carl Jung and uncover the secrets behind why we sometimes want what we can't have. You'll learn practical tips on how to apply these concepts in your own life, turning setbacks into opportunities for connection and growth. By the end, you'll not only understand the psychology behind desire, but also gain powerful tools to reshape your relationships and boost your confidence. So, stay with us as we unravel these fascinating insights and help you discover how to embrace rejection instead of fearing it. Rejection is a universal experience, one that can hit us like a ton of bricks and leave us questioning our worth. It's that gut-wrenching moment when you realize that a friend doesn't want to hang out, a job application didn't pan out, or a romantic interest isn't interested in you. But let's take a step back and consider how we can shift our perspective on rejection. Instead of viewing it as a dead end, what if we perceived it as a stepping stone for growth and self-discovery? This shift in mindset can be transformative. Imagine a young woman named Emily. She had poured her heart into a project for work, only to have her ideas dismissed during a team meeting. Initially, she felt crushed, her self-esteem plummeting as she grappled with feelings of inadequacy. However, after some reflection, Emily began to see this rejection not as a failure, but as an opportunity to refine her ideas and strengthen her resolve. She went back to the drawing board, sought feedback from colleagues, and ultimately presented an even stronger proposal. This experience not only improved her project, but also boosted her confidence in her abilities. The psychology behind rejection is fascinating. When we face rejection, our brains can trigger a fight-or-flight response. This reaction can be overwhelming, making it difficult to think clearly. Yet, if we can pause and reframe our thoughts, we can begin to understand rejection as a natural part of life. It's essential to recognize that rejection is not a reflection of our value, but rather a chance to learn and grow. Rejection often feels personal, but it's crucial to remember that it's not always about us. External factors play a significant role in these experiences. For instance, in a job interview, the hiring manager may be looking for a specific skill set that doesn't align with your strengths. This does not diminish your capabilities. It simply means you weren't the right fit for that particular opportunity. By recognizing this, you can alleviate some of the emotional weight that comes with rejection. What if, instead of dreading rejection, we embraced it? Think of it as a game where each rejection is a level you must conquer to move forward. Every time you face rejection, you gain valuable insights about yourself and your aspirations. You develop resilience, learn what you truly want, and discover new paths that may lead to even greater opportunities. Consider the story of Mike, an aspiring musician. He faced numerous rejections from record labels, each one feeling like a personal blow. Instead of giving up, he decided to take matters into his own hands. He began performing at local venues, building a following and honing his craft. Eventually, his hard work paid off when a small label approached him, impressed by his growing fan base. Mike's journey exemplifies how rejection can redirect us toward paths we might not have considered otherwise. As we navigate life's ups and downs, let's remind ourselves that rejection is not the end, but rather a part of the journey. Embracing rejection can open doors we never knew existed and lead to unexpected successes. Each setback is an invitation to reflect, adapt, and ultimately thrive. So, the next time you face rejection, take a moment to breathe, reframe your thoughts, and consider what new opportunities might lie just around the corner. It could very well be the beginning of something amazing. Desire is a fascinating psychological phenomenon that often drives our actions and decisions. When we find ourselves wanting what we can't have, it can feel like a powerful force pulling us in a direction we can't quite reach. This is where the insights of Carl Jung come into play. Jung believed that our unconscious mind significantly influences our desires, shaping them in ways we may not fully understand. The more elusive something seems, the more we long for it. This idea can feel frustrating, especially when we face rejection or unrequited feelings, but it also opens up avenues for understanding ourselves and our motivations on a deeper level. Let's consider an example. Imagine a young man named Alex who develops feelings for a woman named Emma. Emma is charming, witty, and seemingly unattainable. She has a busy social life and tends to keep people at a distance. As Alex observes her from afar, his interest grows. The more he feels she is out of reach, the more he desires her. He starts crafting stories in his mind about who she is and what life would be like with her. This intense craving often amplifies our perception of the person we desire, creating an almost mythical image in our minds. Now, think about the feelings that arise when we are told we can't have something. This is where desire transforms into a complex emotional experience. Alex, for instance, might experience a mix of longing and frustration. This emotional cocktail can lead to a cycle of desire, where the pursuit becomes more thrilling than the attainment itself. When we are faced with rejection, it can feel like a harsh blow. Yet understanding this dynamic helps us reframe our experience. What if Alex decided to shift his perspective? Instead of viewing Emma's distance as a signal of rejection, he could see it as an opportunity to learn more about himself. The psychological concept of desire suggests that the chase often teaches us valuable lessons about our own needs and aspirations. Alex might reflect on why he is drawn to Emma in particular. Is it her confidence? Her creativity? These insights can lead to personal growth and, ultimately, to healthier relationships in the future. This brings us to the potential for transformation. By recognizing that desire is often fueled by the unattainable, we can harness this understanding to empower ourselves. Rather than viewing rejection as a dead end, we can see it as a signal to reassess our desires. Perhaps Alex learns that he craves adventure and spontaneity, qualities he can seek in other areas of his life, rather than fixating solely on Emma. As we explore this concept further, let's visualize a scenario where Alex takes a bold step. Instead of wallowing in his unrequited feelings, he channels his desire into a passion project. Maybe he starts painting, using his feelings for Emma as inspiration. In doing so, he not only cultivates his creativity, but also gains the confidence to express himself. This journey transforms him from a passive admirer into an active creator, allowing him to move past the initial pain of rejection and embrace a more fulfilling life. Through this lens, we can appreciate that desire, especially for what we can't have, can lead to profound personal development. It's a reminder that our longing can be a powerful motivator, pushing us to explore new paths, develop new skills, and ultimately connect more authentically with ourselves and others. By understanding the psychology behind our desires, we can reshape our experiences and emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Imagine you've just received a rejection. It stings. Perhaps it was a job application, a date, or a creative project you poured your heart into. In that moment, it's easy to feel disheartened and defeated. But what if I told you that there's a powerful tool at your disposal that can turn that rejection into interest? This tool is called reverse psychology, and it works in ways that might surprise you. Reverse psychology revolves around the idea that people often respond to being told what not to do by wanting to do the opposite. For instance, if you tell a friend, "You probably don't want to come to my party," there's a good chance they'll feel an urge to show up just to prove you wrong. This technique plays on human nature and the innate desire to assert independence. When we feel that our choices are being restricted, we often rebel. By framing our approach to rejection with this understanding, we can transform a moment of disappointment into an opportunity for connection and engagement. Let's illustrate this with a story. Consider Mark, an aspiring musician who was turned down by a popular local venue for a gig. Instead of sulking, Mark decided to employ reverse psychology. He reached out to the venue owner and jokingly said, "I guess you don't want to hear my amazing new songs anyway." To his surprise, the owner responded with laughter and curiosity. This light-hearted banter opened the door for a conversation. They ended up discussing Mark's music, and the owner ultimately invited him to perform. What could have been a missed opportunity for Mark turned into a chance to showcase his talent, all because he reframed his rejection with a playful twist. This brings us to a crucial takeaway. Instead of viewing rejection as a dead end, see it as an opportunity to engage in a new way. By using humor and lightness, you can shift the dynamic from one of sadness to one of curiosity. When you express that you're not overly invested in the outcome, it often piques interest. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence and who don't take themselves too seriously. As you navigate your own rejections, think about specific scenarios where you can employ reverse psychology. Perhaps you've been turned down for a date. Instead of retreating into silence, you might say something like, "I understand if you're not interested in someone as quirky as me." This can prompt a reaction that opens the conversation again, possibly even sparking a connection that wasn't there before. Consider the contrast here. In one scenario, you're left feeling rejected and alone. In the other, you've created an opportunity for dialogue and connection. The transformation from feeling dejected to engaging playfully can be empowering. Moreover, by embracing this technique, you're not only enhancing your social skills, but also building resilience. Each time you face rejection and respond with a positive twist, you're training your mind to view setbacks as temporary and surmountable. This shift in perspective can lead to greater confidence in all areas of your life, whether it's in relationships, career pursuits, or creative endeavors. In conclusion, reverse psychology isn't just a clever trick. It's a mindset that can reshape how you view and respond to rejection. By approaching these moments with humor and creativity, you can turn what initially feels like a setback into a stepping stone for new connections and opportunities. As you move forward, consider how you might apply this technique the next time you encounter rejection. The possibilities for turning those moments into something positive are truly limitless. Rejection can feel like a wall suddenly crashing down, leaving us isolated and vulnerable. However, turning that moment of disappointment into an opportunity for connection can transform our experience and change the narrative of our lives. When faced with rejection, instead of retreating into our shells, we have the power to engage the person who has rejected us in a light-hearted, constructive manner. This approach not only eases the tension, but also opens the door for meaningful interactions. Imagine this scenario. You've just been told that your proposal for a project was not accepted. It stings, but instead of withdrawing, you decide to reach out to the decision maker with a playful attitude. You could say something like, "I must have misread your mind. What does the perfect proposal look like to you?" This simple shift in tone can change the dynamic entirely. Instead of feeling like a defeated opponent, you become an active participant in a conversation that could lead to new insights and perhaps future opportunities. Engaging someone after a rejection is not just about light-hearted comments. It's about genuinely understanding their perspective. What are they looking for? What could you have done differently? When we ask questions, we show that we are open to feedback and willing to learn. This openness can create a bridge that allows the other person to see us as more than just a rejected candidate. They see us as someone who is adaptable and resilient. Let's illustrate this with the story of Mark, a budding entrepreneur who faced rejection when pitching his startup idea to a panel of investors. Instead of sulking, Mark approached one of the investors afterward and asked for feedback. He shared a humorous anecdote about his initial struggles and how he had learned from them. The investor, charmed by Mark's sincerity and humor, ended up giving him valuable insights that he hadn't considered before. This interaction not only provided Mark with essential feedback, but also led to a mentorship opportunity that would propel his business forward. The power of storytelling here is profound. Mark originally faced a painful rejection, but by embracing his vulnerability and engaging in conversation, he transformed that moment into a stepping stone for growth. As he navigated the journey from rejection to connection, he discovered that each setback was merely a setup for a comeback. In practical terms, when we experience rejection, it's crucial to shift our mindset. Instead of internalizing the pain, we should view these moments as unique opportunities to learn. Each rejection is a chance to refine our approach, to ask questions that might lead us to new paths. By sharing our experiences, like the time we faced a similar rejection, humor and relatability can foster a sense of camaraderie. Furthermore, this technique can also be applied in social situations. If someone declines your invitation to hang out, respond with a smile and say, "You must be super busy, but I'll keep the door open for next time." This not only shows confidence, but also keeps the line of communication open for future interactions. By embracing rejection and choosing to engage, we start to rewrite the narrative. We move from being passive recipients of negativity to active participants in our own stories. This shift not only builds our confidence, but also lays the groundwork for future connections that may blossom into something wonderful. So the next time you face rejection, remember to take a step back, breathe, and consider how you might turn that moment into an engaging opportunity. By asking questions, sharing stories, and maintaining a light-hearted approach, you can transform rejection into connection, ultimately enriching your life and the lives of those around you. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards of resilience and connection are worth every effort. Imagine an artist, full of passion and creativity, pouring her heart into every brushstroke. This is Sarah, a talented painter who dreams of showcasing her work at a prestigious art show. After months of preparation, she submits her pieces, only to receive a rejection letter. At that moment, it feels like the end of her dreams, but this story is just beginning. Instead of succumbing to despair, Sarah chooses to view this rejection as an opportunity. She reflects on her initial dream and realizes that she still has a message to share with the world. With renewed determination, she decides to take a different route. She organizes a small exhibition at a local cafe. This venue is intimate, filled with people who appreciate art, but may not have had the chance to see her work otherwise. The cafe buzzes with energy as locals gather to enjoy coffee and art, creating a perfect backdrop for Sarah's talent. As she hangs her paintings, Sarah feels a mix of anxiety and excitement. What if nobody shows up? What if they don't like her work? But she pushes these thoughts aside, reminding herself that her art is meant to be seen and felt. The opening night arrives, and to her surprise, the cafe is packed. People wander through, captivated by her vibrant colors and emotional depth. As they engage with her pieces, Sarah shares the stories behind her art, connecting with her audience on a personal level. Her vulnerability and passion resonate with the crowd, and as the night unfolds, something magical happens. A local art critic who happened to be at the cafe that evening takes notice of her work. He approaches Sarah, expressing his admiration and interest in writing a feature about her exhibition. This unexpected encounter leads to a larger opportunity for Sarah. She is invited to showcase her work in a renowned gallery downtown. Sarah's journey illustrates a profound truth. Rejection can be a catalyst for unexpected success. Instead of allowing her initial setback to define her, she embraced it as part of her artistic journey. By choosing to showcase her talents in a new setting, she not only gained visibility, but also built connections with people who appreciated her work. This story exemplifies how one can transform rejection into a stepping stone for greater achievements. The emotional journey of Sarah is relatable to many of us. We often face situations where we feel rejected or overlooked, whether in our careers, relationships, or personal pursuits. The key takeaway is to shift our perspective. Instead of viewing rejection as a dead end, we can see it as a chance to explore new possibilities. The feelings of doubt and fear that accompany rejection are natural, but they can also serve as powerful motivators pushing us to adapt and grow. As we reflect on Sarah's story, consider how embracing rejection can lead us to new paths. It requires courage to step out of our comfort zones and try something different, but the rewards can be transformational. Each rejection is not just an ending, it's an invitation to redefine our direction and discover opportunities we may not have considered before. In conclusion, Sarah's experience teaches us that rejection is not just an obstacle, but a stepping stone to success. By embracing the lessons learned from setbacks, we can cultivate resilience and creativity, ultimately leading to greater fulfillment in our pursuits. Just like Sarah, when faced with rejection, ask yourself what new path you can explore. Remember, every rejection is a chance to rediscover your passion and take bold steps toward your dreams. Rejection can often feel like a heavy weight, pressing down on our self-esteem and confidence. However, facing that weight head-on can cultivate resilience and personal growth. When we encounter rejection, it serves as an opportunity to learn more about ourselves and refine our skills. Each instance of rejection is not a dead end, but rather an invitation to ask ourselves, what can I gain from this experience? This mindset shift can lead to profound transformations in our lives. Consider the story of Mark, a young entrepreneur who dreamed of launching a tech startup. After pouring his heart and soul into a pitch for investors, he faced a string of rejections. Each no felt like a blow to his confidence, but instead of succumbing to despair, Mark began to analyze the feedback he received. He learned that the market wasn't ready for his initial idea, but he discovered a gap that he hadn't considered before. This led him to pivot his concept, creating a product that eventually caught the attention of investors. Mark's journey illustrates how embracing setbacks can lead to unexpected opportunities and growth. Many people wonder how to build confidence after experiencing rejection. One effective strategy is to focus on self-reflection. After facing a setback, take a moment to jot down your feelings and thoughts. What did the rejection teach you? Did it reveal a strength you didn't know you had? By documenting these insights, you create a valuable reference for future challenges. This practice not only helps in processing emotions, but also builds a foundation for resilience. Another question that often arises is how to maintain motivation when faced with repeated rejection. The key lies in reframing the narrative. Instead of viewing rejection as a reflection of your worth, consider it as a part of your journey. Each rejection can be seen as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This perspective allows you to view setbacks as necessary components of success. For instance, J.K. Rowling faced numerous rejections before her Harry Potter manuscript was finally accepted. Her determination turned those no's into fuel for her passion, ultimately leading to a world-renowned series that inspired millions. Building confidence also involves taking actionable steps. When you encounter rejection, instead of retreating, lean into the experience. Engage with the situation. If someone declines an invitation, for example, respond with lightheartedness. You might say, "I promise I won't make you watch that cheesy movie next time." This approach not only lightens the mood, but also opens the door for future interactions. By maintaining a positive attitude, you can shift the atmosphere from rejection to connection, which fosters relationships and builds mutual understanding. As we delve deeper into the essence of resilience, it's crucial to embrace the idea that rejection is a universal experience. No one is immune to it, and understanding this can help normalize your feelings. Think of rejection as a part of the human experience, akin to the trials faced by heroes in stories. Just as they encounter obstacles that test their resolve, so too must we navigate our own challenges. Each time we face rejection, we are presented with a choice: to let it defeat us or to rise stronger. Ultimately, the journey through rejection leads to a more profound sense of self-awareness and confidence. By actively engaging with our experiences, reflecting on our learnings, and embracing the lessons that come with setbacks, we become more resilient individuals. Remember, the next time you encounter rejection, it's not the end. It's merely a chapter in your story, one that can lead to greater heights than you ever imagined. By shifting your perspective and embracing the lessons within, you will not only build confidence, but also pave the way for future successes. Rejection is an integral part of the human experience, and embracing it can transform our lives in unexpected ways. Imagine standing on the edge of a cliff, ready to jump into the unknown waters below. The fear of rejection can feel just like that leap, paralyzing and terrifying. Yet what if that jump could lead to an exhilarating dive into a new adventure? By shifting our perspective on rejection, we can learn to see it as a necessary step in our personal development rather than a setback. Consider the story of John, an aspiring musician. John spent years honing his craft, dreaming of playing at local venues. However, every time he applied for a gig, he faced rejection. Instead of giving up, John embraced each rejection as feedback. He used the time to refine his skills, experimenting with different musical styles and collaborating with other artists. With each no, he grew more resilient and innovative. Eventually, he landed a spot at a popular music festival, captivating the audience and launching his career. John's journey illustrates how embracing rejection can lead to unexpected opportunities. One crucial aspect of embracing rejection is understanding its role in our emotional growth. When we accept that rejection is part of life, we cultivate resilience. This resilience enables us to bounce back from setbacks and continue pursuing our goals. Think of rejection as a gym workout for our emotional muscles. Each experience strengthens our ability to cope and thrive. For instance, when Sarah, a talented writer, faced numerous rejections from publishers, she didn't let it deter her. Instead, she took the feedback she received, revised her manuscript, and ultimately published her first book. Her ability to embrace rejection led to her success, transforming a painful experience into a stepping stone. Moreover, embracing rejection can enhance our relationships. When we stop fearing rejection, we become more open and authentic in our interactions. This openness allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. For example, imagine a person who has been rejected in romantic pursuits. Instead of retreating into their shell, they decide to approach dating with a lighthearted attitude. They share their experiences, including the rejections, often eliciting laughter and empathy from others. This approach fosters connections and can even lead to new romantic possibilities. By embracing our vulnerabilities, we invite others to do the same, creating stronger bonds. Additionally, embracing rejection encourages self-reflection. Each rejection prompts us to ask critical questions. What can I learn from this experience? How can I improve? This self-reflective practice not only helps us grow but also builds our confidence. When we view rejection as a learning opportunity, we shift our mindset from fear to curiosity. For example, a job seeker receives a rejection letter after an interview. Instead of feeling defeated, they request feedback from the interviewer. This proactive approach enables them to understand their weaknesses and work on them, ultimately leading to a successful job offer in the future. As we navigate rejection, it's essential to remember that each no brings us closer to a yes. Just like a video game, where each level presents challenges, rejections can serve as valuable lessons that prepare us for future successes. By embracing rejection, we not only build resilience and confidence, but also open ourselves to new possibilities and connections. In the end, what seemed like a painful experience can become the catalyst for growth, creativity, and deeper relationships. Let's take a moment to reflect on our own experiences. The next time you face rejection, think of it as a chance to level up. Embrace the discomfort, learn from it, and allow it to guide you towards something greater. Remember, the journey through rejection is not just about the destination, it's about the growth that happens along the way. As you navigate this path, you might just discover that what lies on the other side is more rewarding than you ever imagined. Rejection can be a powerful catalyst for growth, transforming our experiences and shaping our future. When we fully grasp the psychology behind rejection, it becomes clear that it's not merely a setback, but a crucial part of our personal journey. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, peering into the unknown. At first, fear grips you. The abyss seems daunting. But what if we viewed that plunge as an opportunity to soar? This perspective shift is essential as we delve into how to embrace rejection and use it to propel ourselves forward. Consider the story of Mark, a young entrepreneur who poured his heart and soul into a startup. After months of hard work and sleepless nights, he pitched his idea to a group of investors only to be met with a resounding rejection. Initially devastated, Mark felt as if the ground had fallen from beneath him. But instead of wallowing in despair, he took a step back to assess the situation. He asked himself what he could learn from this experience. Through this reflection, Mark identified flaws in his pitch and areas for improvement. He sought feedback from those who rejected him, turning a painful moment into a constructive dialogue. With newfound insights, he refined his business model and pitched again, this time securing the funding he needed. Mark's journey illustrates a profound truth. Embracing rejection can lead to unexpected paths of success. Rejection, when reframed, fosters resilience. Think of it as a game of levels. Each rejection is simply a step toward mastering the next challenge. Like a video game character who grows stronger with each defeat, we too can emerge more robust from our setbacks. The key lies in our ability to view these moments not as indicators of our worth, but as opportunities for growth. This is where the power of storytelling becomes vital. Each rejection can serve as a chapter in our personal narrative, shaping our character and guiding us towards our ultimate goals. As we navigate through life, it's critical to recognize that rejection is universal. Everyone has faced it at one point or another, from famous artists to renowned scientists. Take J.K. Rowling, for instance. Before becoming one of the best-selling authors of all time, she faced numerous rejections from publishers who didn't see the potential in her Harry Potter series. Each no was a lesson, paving the way for her eventual success. The emotional weight of her journey resonates with many, showing us that rejection is not the end, but rather a winding road leading to our destination. Moreover, when we actively embrace rejection, we open ourselves to new possibilities. This mindset encourages us to take risks, explore different avenues, and connect with others on a deeper level. Instead of fearing rejection, we can approach it with curiosity. What can this experience teach me? How can I grow from it? These questions transform the narrative from one of defeat to one of empowerment. The next time you encounter rejection, remember that it is not a reflection of your value, but a stepping stone on your personal journey. The ability to embrace and learn from rejection not only builds resilience, but also enhances our capacity for growth and success. By reframing our mindset and viewing rejection as an integral part of life's adventure, we can navigate our paths with confidence and courage. So, what's one way you can reframe a recent rejection in your life? Share your thoughts, and let's continue this journey together, transforming setbacks into stepping stones for a brighter future.